Today I'm going to give you a recap of the Yeti 100 miler that I did last weekend, and it was great. It was awesome. But just like any 100 miler, it wasn't easy. It was tough. But before I want to get into that, I want to give you a brief summary or history of my experiences with the 100 miler, and it's not much. I only did two more prior to this one, and it was at the Knock on Wood 100 in Greenville. And the first time I did it, which was 2017, I ran for the first 35 miles or jog, and my muscle kind of gave out, and my hamstring was pretty much gone. But I didn't know, and I just walked through the pain for 20 more miles. So I did get to 55 miles, and then I stopped then because every single step I took, it just hurt like crazy. And I knew I got like 45 more miles to go, and I could do it, and I didn't want to do any more internal damages, so I stopped then. And that was my first DNF ever, and I don't take it lightly because I never had to stop a race before. So I registered that same race again the next year, and I told myself, I need to be prepared. I need to do what I can to get to the finish line, even though if I have to walk, for the 100 mile. And it started off a lot better. I didn't jog the whole entire time. I walked the hills, but I still jogged a lot of the times and kind of fast. It was like 10 minutes and 30 seconds per mile pace for the first, 30 miles or so, but, including walking. But after, I think 55 miles, I couldn't move anymore, like, jogging wise. I could walk, but the muscle that I used gave out again, and it was different muscles. But really similar in a way that I can walk fast, a little fast, but I just can't run. And when I try to give the command to run, it doesn't go. And I knew at mile 50 or 55 that if I finish this race, it's going to be walking for the next 45. And I did. I walked for 45 more miles and finished with that time of 39 hours and 30 minutes and 30 seconds to change or so. But it was only 30 minutes before the cutoff, which was 40 hours. And so for me, even though I finished, it was my first 100 miler. I don't think I did well in my standards. I thought I could at least do under 30 hours, but I didn't. So I was disappointed and looked for a race again this year. And it was this one, Yeti 100 miler, that I've been working on and training a little bit different. I put a lot more miles towards the end, instead of running throughout the week, like 10 miles, 10 miles, 10 miles. Throughout the week, it's like 15 miles for 5 days, and then the 2 days I get in the 30 mile and the 20 mile, in total of 50. Sometimes I get up to about 55 miles as well. But to train the body to endure all that work and feeling tired the next day, and still can put in good amount of miles. Now coming into this race, even with the training, I was still a little bit nervous. Not, reckless nervous, but just a little bit, as in I don't know how it's going to go and how I'm going to do, because I haven't done well in a 100 miler, the first two. So, but I do have a plan, a strategy, and I did practice the plan and strategy, which was really, walk and jog. I mean, it's not Einstein or anything. I'm just not like an elite athlete or anything, so I shouldn't run like them in the beginning and all the way to the end. But I think I'll be able to do it. Maybe later I could, if my body is able to get to that level. But right now it's going to be just walking and jogging, and that's what I did. And start from this race, pretty much from the race to the end, I did a lot more of the walking towards the end, but there were more running in the beginning. So here's a recap of this year's Yeti 100 miler. The start at White Top was pretty early. Well, not too early. It started at 7 a.m., but we had to get to the bus to take us there pretty early, like at 5:45 the bus left. And we get there probably about 15 to 20 minutes before the race of the start. And we got there, and a lot of people was there, and then kind of dark. We walked towards the front, and Jason Green was up in the front and getting us to all crowd up together to talk to us for a little bit before the race starts. And at 7 or around 7 a.m. The race started, going downhill the first 18 miles to Damascus. Slightly downhill, so it's a really, really runnable course, especially when you taper right. you probably can like run and jog the whole time. But for me, I could have done that, but from my experience, the first 200 milers, I bombed out and I didn't do really well. So I really stuck with my plan to walk and jog, which was I think 5-minute walk and 3-minute jog. Now I actually ran a little more than I jogged in the beginning, and I don't know if that's the reason why or not. But later on, I kind of had to make up for that. So it kind of became a little even, the total of walk and jog times. Starting going down is a 2% down to Damascus for 18 miles, and you're gonna go through a lot of river crossing, a lot of bridges, and it just looks really pretty with streams. Pretty, when you're running, I know if you're competitive, you're probably not really focusing on how things look, but really enjoy the scenery. I really did this time, and I got my camera, I took pictures, and I record running by the streams. It was just an amazing place to walk or do hiking or trail running. So really encourage people that live here or have a chance to come to this race, to participate in this race, just to enjoy being out there and seeing all the beautiful nature that this place has to offer. The first shot from White Top to Abingdon is 33.4 miles, and it goes back to White Top and then back to Abingdon. It was really easy the first portion, but when I held back, there was probably 75 to 100 person in front of me at the start, and I was like, I could run with them or I could just hold back, and I had the race plan, so I held back. There was a lot of people in front of me in the race, and I just let them go, and I just did my thing. I told myself that run your race, don't run other people's race, and that's what I did. Now I kind of deviate a little bit, as in running like more in the beginning, more like a 3-8, running 8 minutes and then jogging 2 or 3 minutes. Which I think next time if I do something, I would actually maintain that 3-5 throughout and see how does that affect me in the long run, like towards the last 30 miles of the race. The overall pace for the first 33.4 miles is roughly around 10 minutes and 30 seconds. That's actually kind of fast for me because I was really shooting for like best would be like under 12-minute pace, and here I'm already like 1minute and 30 seconds below that pace. Yes, I knew I was going a little bit quicker, but I didn't know, maybe it's my day that I could hold this throughout the entire race. You never know. But I tried it, and it got kind of slower after the first down, which is the first 33 miles, and going back up, I knew there's some incline in there, so it's a little bit slower. Going back up to White Top was a lot warmer than I expected. Now this course is pretty shaded. I think probably about 70% of it is shaded, and you're only out in the sun. You will have direct sunlight with you for probably like a good, I would say like 10 miles or so, 10 or 15 miles. But that's during the day only, and then once you hit the night session, you won't see, unless you roll over to the next day around 12, you won't have a lot of sunlight. But this year was kind of warm, I heard, because I got kind of hot when I was in the sun. I had the hat to kind of cover my neck too as well, which helped a lot. I drank a lot of water throughout and took a lot of electrolytes, and pretty much ate every single hour with our Hammer Perpetuum or the bar itself or the gel, depending on how I'm feeling. I used most of the gels and the Perpetuum in the beginning, but towards the end I used some of the solids because I just didn't feel like eating gels anymore. But it's good to have another substance with a different taste and texture, and the tablet for the solids, Perpetuum solid, is like a tablet, and you bite it, it's kind of breaks down, and then it gets kind of a little chewy but kind of sticky, so you have to use water to get it down. You don't have to, but I did because it got kind of sticky like gum, but it worked for me, and I tried that going back with the gel and then the Perpetuum, the powder, and that worked for me for the race, and I didn't have any stomach issues or anything. Going back to White Top from Abingdon, the first down and then going back up, I was slowing down a little bit, and my pace, from overall of 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and that's including aid station, stop, brakes, everything got slower, and it came down to 11:40, 11:50, no, 10:40, and then 10:50, and it just slowly crept up the average pace to 11, 11:30, and then 12. Right when I hit 50 miles, it was right at 10 hours. Right at, if I do the same thing for the next half, I would be 20 hours or under 20 hours for the race. And I knew going up, I wasn't going to be anywhere near like coming down. So I knew my race won't be 20 hours or below 20 hours, but it would be around 20 or 22 at that time. Now going back up to White Top, I thought I would be walking more instead of walking and jogging. But to my surprise, I was able to walk and jog, but it was more even. It was like 3 minutes walking and then 4 minutes jogging, or 3 minutes walking and 3 minutes jogging. And then there's a time where I would walk for 10 minutes because I just got really tired, starting to get fatigued. On the way up there, once you get to the top, it's 66.8 miles. And even before I get to the top, I started feeling fatigued. I started getting really tired. And I think from probably around 58 to 66, I started to walk a lot more and started feeling really tired. And I stopped at the aid station to get water refill. And what helped me a lot was at night getting the soup. They had like a vegan soup, and at one of the aid station, and that really helped. Make sure you stop, get some food in you. When on my way down, I got to White Top, and then it was already night, completely pitch black. On the way down, I got really tired, and then I stopped by to get food. I ate like noodles, which really helped. I thought it was gonna be cold at night, but it didn't get cold that night or that day. That day was really warm, and then at night it kind of was feeling a lot better, but it was still warm throughout the night as well, kind of humid, and was really tired going down the hill. But after 70, my mind just got really tired and exhausted. One of the places you would reach or get to doing a 100-miler or a big long distance marathon that you're not used to is you're gonna get to this dark place. Literally, physically, this dark place at night. You're running and it's pitch black. But not only that, you actually mentally get into this negative zone of, like, why you sign up for this? Excuse me. Why you sign up for this? It's hurting so bad. Why don't you just stop? All you have to do is quit DNF. It's painful. Don't keep on going. Just stop. Just go back to bed and just chill, relax. And a lot of those places are like your breaking point. Can you get through that or not? And if you're not injured and you're able to do it, but it's just mentally you have a blockage, and that's where if you exceed, you're gonna know that you can do a lot more than what you think you can. So if you get to that point, before you get to the race, before you even do the race, just know that you're going to get there and how you're going to handle it. And if you already decided once you get to that point, you know exactly what you need to do. And for me was, checking myself to see, am I capable of going faster or walking faster, or finishing it. And if I am, then I go. But if I'm injured and, if I go anymore, it's going to injure myself even more, and it might be permanent injury or something, then I would stop. But a lot of the time it's just mentally blocking and not wanting you to go because you never passed that point before. And when you do, it's an incredible feeling just to get through it. So I hope that if you do get there, you don't get there, but if you do get there, that you can bypass that and accomplish what you haven't before. After 70 miles on the way down to Abingdon, I was feeling tired, getting more sleepy. Walking, my leg was feeling like aching, and it started to feel pain. My feet started to swell up, and walking and jogging, it's they're both painful now. It's just jogging is a lot more painful than walking, so I walk a lot more. But I still try to put in some jogs here and there. But instead of can do like a minute or 2 minute jog, it starts to become like a 30-second to 15-second jog, whatever I can handle the pain, at the time. Sometimes you get like a down and you feel kind of crappy and you want to walk a lot more than you do. And then sometimes you feel like a spurt of energy and you want to take advantage of that, and then you jog, and that's what I did. When I have like a certain energy of, came from somewhere, it's either somebody coming up behind me, or I'm with somebody, or I have food in me and I feel a lot better, then I'm able to jog more than I do. And when it happens, I'm able to jog for like a few minutes, and then I stop and walk. So take advantage of, the situation when you're feeling really, really down. If you get like a spurt of energy, then get it and jog and do what you can to go forward. And if you can't, it's okay. Just walk, just one foot in front of the other, and keep on going. When I got to mile 75 or 77, around there, I was going very, very slow, and there was a guy that was walking, and he caught up to me and he said, "Hey, you're right at 24 hours, under 24 hours. If you keep on going, you're gonna make it. And this under 24 buckle belt is really, it's up to you for grabs. Well, it's up for me for grasp." And I was like thinking to myself at that time, I trained for the last 5 to 6 months, and I told myself that, if you can get it, then you get it, you go for it. If you can't and your body is failing and you can't go do any more, then you don't. But myself at that time, I knew that I could if I want to, or at least at that moment, that I can go a little bit quicker. It just hurts more, but you could go a little quicker and jog a little bit more. And at that moment, I decided I'm going to get under 24 hours, and I went for it, and I kept on going, and I walked faster, and I jogged here and there with this person. And then at mile 80, there was a bunch of people that we run into that were right at the 24 hours, and we were probably, I would say, maybe 30 minutes on schedule to get under 24 hours. So a lot of us walked together and we talked, and what I noticed was that these guys and girls that was going, they were walking a lot faster than me. And I don't know, I was trying to walk fast as I could, but it just doesn't match their speed. It's like speed walking or something, but they don't look like they're speed walking. They're just walking, but they're going pretty quick. So that's something that I can learn, is to walk faster and learn, some skills and do practice. Because, I do practice walking, but it's my run and jog. It's not like I focus on how to walk. It's just, I just walk. So maybe that's something I need to focus more on my next training, is, walking faster to get those muscles, or learn that skill where I can be like these guys, because they were walking probably, 15 to 16 minutes per mile, and one of them or two of them was doing like 14 and a half minutes per mile, and I'm like, whoa, that's something that I wish I could do right now. It would help a lot if I could. So take note, walking is important in ultra marathons, especially the longer it is. So that's something I want to practice, something that I'm going to practice and read up and look into for the later marathons. The last 20 miles on route to finish line, we go through these cow pens or cow fences, and you have to go through these gates, and you have to open and close them. Well, this is right at night, and we went through probably about 20 miles left of the race. A few of the runners was stopped there. We didn't know why, but there were about 3 or 4 cows out, and two big ones was like right on the trail itself. So one of the guys got my trekking pole and make some noise for the cows to move out. So he got out, and then we continue, and we walked together for a good amount of times. And then there's other people coming up, or we caught up to other people. So there's this group that is right at under 24 hours that was going together to the finish line. As we get closer to the 100 miler, for me, I start walking and jogging a little more. Was able to feel more of the pain itself, but it's kind of just there, and you just don't think much about it anymore. In the beginning, you think a lot about it, but towards the end, you're just like, oh, it's there. So you jog and you walk. Towards the end, the higher the mileage you get, like for example from 80 to 90 or 90 to 95s, it seems like it just gets longer and longer. The last 5 miles, it just seems like it goes on forever. It feels like it's 15 to 20 miles because you're walking. I think because you're thinking that, oh, it's gonna be there, but it's not because you're going slower. But the last 4 miles were just, I don't know, exhaustingly long for me. It's like the longest 4 miles I've ever run, walk, or jog. But towards the end there, every corner I look at, I think, oh, that's the finish line, but it's not. Like, and I did it like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 times. So once I got to a point where I just like, I don't care, I'm just gonna jog. And probably the last 200 or 400 meters, I just jogged the whole way. And then when I saw the light in the finish line, then I was like, oh God, finally we're there. And then I jogged all the way. And then Jason Green was at the finish line at night, waiting for us, giving us a big hug, and presenting us with a buckle at the time. So it was something. Once you pass that finish line, that you went through all of this feelings and journey of this race, and to get to the finish line, it's a incredible feeling and accomplishment. I finished the race at 23 hours, 42 minutes, and 27 seconds. So that's sub 24. It's my first 100. That is under 30 hours, and sub 24, all at the same time. And we got 2 buckles. I don't have the buckles here, but I can put a picture up. This is not the race video. I have a race video uploaded, so you want to check that out, you can check it out. I try to post it here, but it's the video right before this one. I do want to mention one thing is, with these ultra races, you get to meet a lot of cool, unique people, a lot of trail runners. This time I met a few people from Strava, like Stu, Kenneth. Stephanie was running, but we passed each other, but I didn't know that was her. I just look forward to going to races and running the race, but also meeting people as well. I think it's a great group of individuals that commit themselves to the sports, and then keep on doing it, even though it's painful, but having fun at the same time. As painful as it was for this race, for the runners to go through and finish it, I really enjoyed this race, and the volunteers was great, the supporters was awesome. My mom came to support me and was my aid station at one of the aid station in the finish line, so really enjoyed spending time with her. Jason Green, race director, was awesome. All the aid station folks was just great. They really help you with whatever you need, refills, food, number checks, things like that. And the scenery of the place is just remarkable. I don't know, like I would just come back just to even just do like a trail run or walk or hike. It's just amazing, especially from the top of White Top to Damascus, or the 18-mile span. And throughout, you're gonna have like a river crossing, like these bridges. I think we call it Driscoll, and they're just remarkable. And when you get down, there's this the longest bridge there is, and it's just remarkable. It's really pretty to see. So most of the one that you see is gonna be during the morning when you did the race, because if you finish at 20 or 24 hours, it's gonna be at night. Unless you finish 30 hours right before, then you see the bridges again when you come down. But it's just an amazing race, amazing group of organizers, so I really appreciate it. I would recommend this race if it's like the first 100, or even like later on, even if you're experienced, because it's just such a great race with the great scenery and great folks here. And the town itself is really nice too. I really like Abingdon. It's just really small and cozy. I like the restaurants around there as well. So yeah, that's my recap for the race. This will be the last video of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your running and racing is going well. Stay injury free, and thanks for watching.